Well, good evening, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you had a fantastic day celebrating and honoring those who have gone before us and paid the ultimate price so we could have the freedom to be on a call like this tonight. And so we definitely pray for all those who have paid that price and their families. And, if you're a veteran, we want to say thank you very much for your service too. And uh, thank God. Alrighty. Well, tonight we're going to go ahead and roll out a new brand partner training, kind of some of the nuts and bolts. And so this is going to be recorded, and it will be placed on our school platform. So those who could not make tonight will have availability to catch it and get trained by it to help them launch. So let me go ahead and start with my first slide, and we'll go through here. And then tonight also, by the way, I'll be sharing a couple excerpts from an amazing training that went on this weekend with Danny McDaniels and Joe Navarro. And they're in my downline on my right leg, but they're amazing, amazing leaders. And so want to make sure that we kind of I'm able to share the love, if you will, from other key leaders in our organization with you. So you get the best of the best. And that's my heart. My heart is for our team in order to get the best of the best so we can win big today. And every day. So, and then additionally, we have Donnie Flores. He's been back engaged in this opportunity and been doing great. And I want him also to share a little bit about how he also contacts and invites. So, and that's part of the nuts and bolts of what we do is sharing this opportunity, contacting, inviting, getting people patched, getting their eyeballs on a Zoom, getting them signed up, and replicating the process, right? It's pretty simple. And it's important that you have a view that is not just narrowly focused, but one that you can adapt to your own thumbprint so you don't have to be weird. You can be yourself when you're sharing this opportunity with your family and friends. You can feel empowered, you can feel inspired, on fire, and all that we are, thanks to this amazing opportunity. And so we just want to give you guidelines and equipping so that when you are sharing this opportunity with your family and friends, you can be confident and you're sharing and bold and you're caring when you're picking up the phone and calling your family and friends, not because you want to sell them something, you're calling them because you know you found something. And that's why we're so excited for all of us to even be on this call tonight is because what we found, both not only in this amazing patch and the spectacular rejuvenation and restoration that happens within our bodies, but also with this amazing opportunity. And that's really kind of gonna be the flavor of tonight that we'll get into. But before I get into that, let me go ahead and share my first slide, and we'll go from there. And bear with me one second, people. Let me make sure I share it with you. And all righty. And just as a little disclaimer, there's no guarantees of income or financial gain in what we're doing. And it's all really going to be up to you. You are the variable. And as all of us on this call are the variable, we all have an opportunity to get after this amazing, amazing, basically dream catching opportunity. And that's what we talk from. But ultimately, it's up to you. And so, and here's the beautiful thing. You actually have the freedom with this opportunity to dream again. And why is that? Well, let's think about this for a minute. That 85% of people who work today in America, they don't like what they do. Many hate what they do. And 60% of all Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That is not freedom. That isn't in part the freedom I think that our fallen loved ones who went before us on the battlefields to fight for our freedom died for, right? And but if you've got a big why that makes you cry, we like to say, then there is an opportunity, a gateway that can begin to open up for you to get back to the dream that maybe's been pushed down and buried inside of you because over time life's maybe beat you up and then you've settled, right? And so, and I've settled. I didn't really think I could dream again. I had wife, kids, bills to pay, and you get caught in the system of just trying to take the daily grind, and that's not living. That's not what we believe a life is designed to be. And we have now an amazing opportunity to begin to break off that pressure off you, begin to step your way forward, begin to achieve results on an income basis that literally eventually could set you free. And this is part of why we're on this training tonight is not only to learn how to share this patch of hope with people, I like the word in my hand here, but also to build an organization, to build a team of people who desire to hit their dreams, because we do have people that are. My wife and I are one of them. 2.5 years ago, when our dear friend Joyce Johnson introduced us to this patch, we had no idea the upside and what this could do initially when she shared with us what could happen. And that's maybe you. You're coming to this, you're brand new, and you're kind of almost like testing the waters, because something really needs to prove itself out to be real, doesn't it? And it takes time for that to earn that kind of trust inside the heart of me and you, where we can begin to really believe that, hey, I think I've found something that literally could get me back on track to achieving my dreams. And this is what we're training on tonight, the steps, the building blocks to be able to move in that direction so you can begin to gain the incremental beliefs like, oh my gosh, I think this is coming real. I think this could really do it for me. I think this is really an opportunity. And yeah, I'm going to partner with you, Ken, and the team in order to help me get to where the dreams are inside of me to be able to bring them forward. And so we want to get people out of this time waster of 85% of the people going to work not being happy with what they do. And think about that. When I was going to work not happy with what I was doing, and I was under a lot of pressure, I basically was giving up time and replacing it. I was basically investing my time with something I wasn't happy with. So I had an unhappy face. And that's life's too short for that. We want to help you gain a happy face, right? So, the question is, do you want to succeed? Because you're the variable, and we believe that you have the immense capability to succeed at any level that you desire within your heart. Because we believe God made you and us like that. And from my personal perspective, trusting in the Lord and the way He made us to be, which is to be free, is to live with our dreams. And as we delight ourselves in Him, He gives us the desires of our heart. And this is what my wife and I saw. We came in this opportunity. I was under a tremendous amount of pressure at the time. And so I was working 60 to 80 hours a week, running my 15 to 18 man advertising company. I had 3 magazines down the Sarasota Lake Ranch area over 10 years, and I'd done very well, but I was going to sell our company prior to COVID. We could have probably retired after COVID. The whole advertising industry changed. Now it looked like I may have to reinvent the company, begin to add social media, digital, and things, and actually change the whole dynamic, change the recipe, which is a huge risk. And I thought, I just spent 10 years. Why didn't I sell? Now I'm going to have to go restart this thing, if you will. And the pressure was immense. And the fear, the sorrow of having potentially lost 10 years of my life because everything we had invested went back in our company, and we were going to get it back when we sold it. Now, if we sold it, it would be much smaller. It wasn't where we were at. Was painful. Have you been there? Have you ever felt that you don't have enough money in your savings and you got other people maybe that are firefighters, friends of yours or what have you, now retiring? You're thinking, what about me? So I was under pressure, and I was needing a way out. And Joyce didn't know that when she called me to tell me about this amazing product and the opportunity. And when she mentioned that this couple, Stephen, Gene, and Merritt, came aboard this company, and in 23 days hit the highest rank in this company that usually took 4 years to do. We're talking maybe 25,000 a week. I didn't tell her this, but that got my attention. I thought, what's the chance? Because that was a hopeful number for me, and that we could get access to some hope as well. And so we wanted to succeed. We wanted this opportunity to really work. And because I didn't see another opportunity that could work like this. Matter of fact, now in retrospect, I can't, looking at the purview of all the businesses that are out there, I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I don't know of any company that you and I could participate in that could yield the financial gain that this has to offer in the way it does it, which begins to bring some beautiful things like time to you and me. And that's what it did for us. And I remember within 90 days, we had enrolled about 60 people just to get on these patches. We got on a cruise for 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks, came back $2,500 richer. And I said, hold on a second. I did not put my foot on the gas to make that money. While we were on this cruise down to Bora Bora in Hawaii, we were making money. I'm like, hold on, how is that? Well, the nature, you're going to find out how that is, by the collective efforts of others instead of all the effort on you and you getting paid off those efforts. Now your paycheck begins to rise as you're still doing your full-time thing. And we say in this business, it's God, family, your work, be a good employee, employer, or whatever you may be, a business owner, and then this. So God, family, work, then this. And that's what we did. I stayed putting God first. I took my wife on dates. I had my kids. Now my wife and I, by the way, we have now 5 grown children out the door, 4 married, 10 grandbabies, and very busy people, obviously. And and this opportunity began to incrementally put more money in our coffers every Tuesday. And eventually, by God's blessings and us staying the course, wanting to succeed, willing to go all in, not all in 40, 50 hours a week, but all in while I was sharing. It was in my heart. I was all in. We got to a point where we were making 4 times the income I was paying myself running my advertising company. And that point, that was our set free number, I'll call it. And that gave us the ability to make some decisions. We could put our company up for sale, pay all our people, and then basically turn it off. And then have a new opportunity when we wake up in the morning to do something different. And that's happened for us. So back almost 12 months ago. And it's been amazing since then. And this is part of our DNA of why we're on this call, why I'm on this call today. It says, I want to train you to get there too. But that's based on your desire. Do you want to succeed? Because if you do, we've got all the variables, right? We've got a company that has a proprietary patented product that no one on the planet has. Everybody has stem cells. They're all going dormant. We have a solution, right? And it's highly consumable. That's being repetition. You keep buying it for $3 a day. I don't know where on Starbucks menu you could see something for $3. Find it, and solid company performance, a company of 20 years. That's 21 now, basically, debt-free organization, one of the fastest growing companies in the world currently in this space of 560 relational marketing companies. Think of Mary Kay, think of eXp Realty, think of Ameriprise, respected companies. And we have a team that has a duplicatable system, and that's key. It's not what you know that matters, it's what duplicates. This is how you begin to multiply yourself out through the efforts of others and collectively get paid off all that, which is the most awesome, powerful way to make residual money, and we've got a team, which you're hearing from tonight. We've got strong leadership, and minimal startup costs. I mean, for my company, I had to do almost $100,000 a month to continue to pay the bills. And I was out there hustling, selling all the advertising to pay that to make sure my team got paid. Here we have no overhead. My overhead is 2 of these, one for me and one for my wife, $199 a month. No employees to make 7 figures a year. That is insane. That is genius. My degree's in finance. It's a very, very powerful business model. Way more powerful than buying a franchise. So very lucrative pay structure. And so now it's a matter of we've got someone who makes the patches, distributes the patches, makes sure they have a customer service team that answers some questions, they get us paid on time. All we got to do is what? Share and plug into a team. And so really the variable is up to you. And the key is you've got to have a purpose. You may think of this as a hobby, and if that's where it is for you, you're just excited about the patch, you might share with some friends and family. We totally get that because you've got to be yourself. But if you're somebody who says, Ken, I want more. I do want to dream again. I want to have a new bounce in my step. Like I had like when I was under so much pressure on my advertising company, I started wearing this patch. I got excited to see what it did for my wife and my kids and family and friends. I began every day I got up in the morning, I was excited, not just running my business, but I was excited to want to talk about this patch with my clients, with my team, with people. And it didn't limit me from doing my job. It's just like if you saw a really awesome movie or a super great restaurant, and when you go to work the next day, what do? Well, in between at the water cooler or on the phone with the customer at the end of a conversation, hey, have you been to that restaurant? Hey, have you seen that movie? Hey, have you heard about this patch? And that kind of dynamic with our system is powerful to be able to share it and while you're continuing to keep the most important things first, like your job, and then point everybody part of the system, peek under the hood, get their eyeballs on a Zoom, you know? And so, but do you have purpose? Definitive goals, a definitive plan of action? Do you have belief, courage, confidence, persistency, determination? Because these are the requirements it takes if you want to succeed in anything. It's the same for this. So you're the variable. And so what's your why? That's critically important because it's going to define a critical purpose. For me, my why was I needed to get to a number that would set us free. I wanted out. And I knew for me that number was $20,000 a week. And that was important because I needed the pressure. I needed to know that I could wake up in the morning at one point having a set free number, and now I could begin to dream again. And the things that are in my heart that God put there, I now have time to be able to do. And the dream for me wasn't just about buying more things, as it was being able to be in a financial position where I didn't have to think about the money. Now I could think about what God wants me to think about so I can make an impact on others. And believe it or not, being part of this team and doing what I'm doing here tonight is part of my passion. We also bought 90 acres in Malawi, Africa not too long ago and donated to a ministry. We do a lot of amazing things for other ministries now. And we try to live on 20% of our income, take the other 80% for charitable giving, investments, and taxation. And that's a great place to be. We want you there too. I have other team members on my team below me technically that make more than me, which is powerful, right? That's the power of this opportunity. Listen, just another $100 a week made a difference, right? It can for anybody. But the thing is, that was my heart desire. The Lord knew it was buried in there. So I had a mission, I had an objective, I had a definitive purpose that I knew would open up a whole multitude of blessings for my family and for others that I could now begin to make an impact for. And so, do you have a definitive purpose? Pray to God to get it. And if you have a definitive purpose, then you need a defined plan of action. The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. Haste is effort without a plan. That leads to poverty. And in doing so, you have to, on a daily basis, operate on a daily method of operation, a cadence of how you're going to do what you do. And so I want to help you show what that looks like. This is what your why is going to help fuel. Your why is going to fuel this. And from that, you're going to get specific results. But if you don't have a definitive purpose, if you don't have, hey, I'm doing this because I'm going to get that. If you don't have that, mindset that I must do this so that, I must do this so that. And I knew I had to do this so that I could get this pain off my heart of financial burden and thinking for the next 10, 20 years, I may have to continue to work. I didn't want that. It was just my pain. And so what's yours? And if you don't have that pain, and if you don't have a definitive purpose, then guess what? You're not going to have a definitive plan of action. You're not going to have a daily method of operation, and you're not going to get specific results. So no specific results because you have no daily method of operation. You've got no definitive plan, and you don't have a definitive purpose. So everything that's good, it all starts with what? Starts with your dream, And so in this opportunity gives you and me the ability to dream again. So, and the key is you want to establish your purpose and reason why this is. And if you're brand new, I hope this is starting to ring true to you to realize, the job I work for, they never ask me these questions. Why? Because they don't have a vehicle that can take you where this one can. They just want you to show up, do your job, and keep having you show up to pay your job. A salary is what someone pays you, so it diverts you from your dreams. Not purposely, but that's what a salary does. So define your purpose. You're going to make a big list, a minimum of 100 names on a list. That's part of our launch plan. We'll talk about that in a minute. And you want to have a goal sheet. What's your goal? You know, for me, I knew that for me, our goal was a big one. It was 20K a week. That was our goal. I also had a shorter term goal. I need to get to at least 5K a week. Now, this is a bigger number than most people, but I'm just telling, I'm sharing me because I was a business owner. I already made pretty good money because I need to see how real this thing was for me. And it wasn't long that we were able to get to that number in this amazing opportunity. While we were still working our full-time job, that part-time money began to step up. And we had a deadline. You know, I was coming under pressure. I knew within 24 months, I really need to be at 20K a week. And we hit it in 22 months by God's favor and his design. It was amazing, you know. And so here's, been reading this amazing book. And let me grab it real quick here. When you set it next to me. Sorry, everybody. Here it is. It's the book of the month read. It's by Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. It is spectacular. And in it, it talks about how 98% of the people in life are drifting. And, you know, when you're drifting, why are you and I, if we were drifting, why is that? Because we're not focused on what and committed to where we want to go. But the two percenters who are focused, who have a definitive purpose, and they know where they want to go, they have a dream, right? They get onto it and they put a plan of action into place. Kind of like the picture of this line we see here. You can tell that in this pic, that line, he looks like he's got a purpose, that he's confident in a plan. Why? Because he's focused and unshakable. And this is our prayer. Our prayer is that we're building a team of those who are coming out of the work life they're not happy with, bringing them into an opportunity to help them begin to dream again, to begin to put a purpose again, to begin great focus again that becomes unshakable. So they begin to fill a purpose and a specific plan of action. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play an excerpt from Joe Navarro, is one of the leaders. And this is just a 2-minute excerpt here. And let me bring this up. Hold on 1 second here. Joe, where you at? Here we go. Share this with you. Here they folks. Okay.
Joe? Yeah, well, just exactly what you said. A lot of times the first person you need to recruit is yourself. Because when you have a mindset of I must, not I'd like to, not a maybe, yeah, it's a yes. Let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. And a lot of times you're not attracting the people that you would like to because they can sense it in you. Anything that you've been all in on in your life before, think about it, whether it was swimming, weight loss, parenting, marriage, your career at the time, you've been successful. And so you've got to let your yes be your yes, and that's what's going to start attracting people. So establishing your purpose and reason. Remember, I'm going back to day one when I started. I saw $10,000 a month in 90 days. I went to Danny and I said, Danny, who's making $10,000 a month? He said, Rick and Brittany Francis. You know, or who made it in their first 90 days? He said, Rick and Brittany. How soon did they do it? Less than 90 days. Boom. See, if it's been done once, it can be done again. So my purpose and reason was $10,000. I wrote this down. I will be making XYZ by XYZ so that. Y'all need to write that down. I will be making XYZ by XYZ so that. All right. You want me to know that?
All right.
All right.
Hold on a second, guys.
Let me know when you want me to get into long.
So once again, we're going back to definitive purpose. And I hope that you're starting within yourself, beginning to realize, okay, where are you at on a scale of, say, 1 to 5 on your definitive purpose? Are you a 5? Are you a 4? Are you a 3? Because it makes a huge difference, where we're going in our life and with this amazing opportunity. Okay, so let me go on my next screen here. And let's talk about, once again, the value of this amazing opportunity and compared to franchising. Because much of what we do, if it's going to be compared to, you could almost compare it to a franchise. It's almost like you're the franchisor. Because once your distributor is going to roll out, it's going to roll out on your left and right, and it's going to continue to go. And each time someone else on your team on your left and right is making money, you're going to get a piece of that. The company's going to pay you that. So it's almost like you're a franchisor, right? So, and as your friends then sign up somebody, you're getting a piece of that. And they sign up, and those sign up somebody, you're getting a piece of that. So this dynamic, this powerful dynamic of the accumulation of income through the efforts of others is much like being a franchisor. And if you think about franchising and, think about what does it take to be just a franchisee, right? So here's, if you think about Jersey Mike's, you got a franchise fee of $18,500 you got to pay. You're going to have to anywhere from a total investment of $200,000 to $1.3 million. You got to have at least $150,000 cash liquidity in the bank. And you're going to be employing 10 to 15 people. You're going to be paying a 6.5% royalty. I mean, this is a lot of effort here. Same thing, if you want to buy, a Culver's, $55,000, you got to have $500,000 to $750,000 on hand. I mean, this is amazing. I love Bundt Cakes, $45,000 as a franchise fee. It's a one-time fee, right? And then you got to have at least $500,000 to $1 million total investment going forward, as well as $250,000 in cash. And you're going to pay 15 to 20% royalty. And then you come to LifeWave. Well, you can come in this business for as much as just $1,750 plus tax and shipping. And you have no cash obligations, right? And the only real fee you pay is a $25 fee that's buried inside of your initial investment. And you have no employees, no royalties, and you have a residual opportunity to make really $25,000 a week and unlimited. And, with a company that's been around for 20 years and all these other companies, there's only one way you're going to be making money. We have 5 ways to make money. I mean, this is just powerful. And, when you're in part of a franchising system to be successful, you've got to go to training. And so at a minimum, Jersey Mike's, for instance, you're going to go to corporate for 40 hours. It's a whole week. Boom. Right. Then after that, you have 500 hours behind the counter. Why is this? Because they want to make sure they protect the brand of Jersey Mike's, that everybody's dialed in. They know what to do, how to do, to replicate it, to get new employees on to do the same thing too, to protect that brand, so it's pretty amazing. Like I said, going back to Culver's, right? 172 hours of training at corporate. That's like 5 weeks of training you're going to be in. And then you're going to come back and spend 550 hours, right? Divide 40 hours into that number. It's a big number. It's like 13 or 14 weeks behind the counter before they're going to turn the reins over to say you can run that business. And it's the same thing in a business like ours. You just like those owners who are willing to spend the amount of money they're willing to spend and then match their time and their efforts and their energy and their risk, they were willing to commit to be coachable, to learn, to develop. And it's the same thing in this business. We come in and it's so easy, for just $100 or less. I mean, for a few $100 or, less than $2,000, you come in and, and no real requirements. It's all on you. And so we can all underestimate really the principles of success that are necessary to win in any business. And so it's just almost so easy. It looks like because you overlook it, but no, in this business, we come in with the opportunity to be trained. And here is like our major training that we have coming up here in August 8th through 10th. That's a Friday night, all day Saturday, and then a Sunday service. And think about this, designed for busy working people, because this business is built in the nooks and crannies. It's not built on a full-time basis, but you can make way more in full-time money on an extremely limited part-time basis. And going to a next level of training is part of like your franchising opportunity, if you will, to go to corporate and get trained. Except here you're being trained by people like me and you, people who started with just one on their left and one on the right and continue to build, and they got all the way to SPD. And now you get to hear the hope from a 24-year-old or an 82-year-old grandmother in Puerto Rico or a 63-year-old single mom out in a town of just 650 people out in Texas of ranchers, and who also hit the highest rank in this business. You get to see hope, and you get to learn nuggets that will take you further than you could ever fathom. And the pricing for something like this is minuscule. We're talking $400, which is crazy cheap compared to what we used to spend when we go to other events. And unlike paying to go through a motivational seminar where you get all inflated, deflated, you're coming out with greater conviction and belief, and which is spectacular. Well, the thing is, the more people you take to something like this, the more money you're going to make. And so I want to show you the power of the numbers of taking people to an event like this. And it's right here. And I can tell you this is true. And I highlighted the yellow here for a reason, right? So if you bring 6 people with you, you can pretty much depend that you're going to come away making about another $500 a week more than you made before, right? And you take 50 people with you, you can bank on another 3,000. That's like 150 grand a year, right? And well, my wife and I, at the very first meeting, we had our team who then invited team. So collectively underneath us, we had 60 people come to a first, this is it type of convention. And we went from making 1,000 a week to just a matter of a few months after that, making 1,000 a day. So, and we had 60 people. Here they say 75 to make 6,000. We had 60 making 7,000. And so this is about right. So if you're looking to hit that $25,000 a week, well, you want to build yourself up eventually where you've got 300 people coming. And what happens is it's your team who then invites team who invites team. And so your goal is to bring an army over time. First, you need to start with the first event for you. And you want to have a goal to bring as many people as you can and your team, because if you just go, you're going to find yourself kicking yourself saying, oh my gosh, I didn't bring so-and-so. I didn't bring so-and-so. Had they been here? And now you're not going to be able to repeat what you just saw, all the nuggets. And, but you bring them with you, they're going to see what you see. They're going to get the nuggets they need. And if it's just you and 10 more people, well, you just basically, bam, you can pretty much look at, you're making another $700 a week, another 35 grand a year, just by bringing, 10 people with you, and then, but if some of those people bring some people, say 2 of your people bring 10 people, now you got 30 people, that's over 24. Well, bam, now you're about 80,000 a year. Right. And so this is how we begin to step it up. And the beautiful thing is that 75 people, $6,000 a week, that puts you in the top 2%. Google it. 2% of income earners in the United States. Okay. So the income in the United States at 2% is $364,093. I mean, $939, right? But then if you get your team that gets bigger, and remember, we have 2 of these events really a year. We have one that's coming up in August, and then we have another one that in part is virtual, which we really need it in person because only 500 of us can fit in person. But the point is that with what happens out of that is it multiplies, and we hopefully Steve and Gina will put more of these because really we need 3 of these a year. But so you want to take advantage of the one we have currently, and but if you get to a point where you have 150 people coming, now that's putting about 750 grand a year. If you take 12, I mean excuse me, 52 times 12.5, that's a big number, right? And that puts you in the top 1% income earners. And then once you get to 300 people, you get 25. Now you're at the 1 and 200 people in the country. So we have a step system that is bankable, that you can rely on, that is going to reward you. And this is the power. Besides wearing the patch, the next most important purchase, besides the kit you purchased, would be your ticket and then the commitment to get as many of your team to go here as possible. And so it's powerful. And then additionally, we have a contest running currently. It's a $10,000 Run for Freedom cash incentive, where first prize is $3,000, second is two, third is $1,500, fourth is $1,000, $800, $700, $500, and then a drawing where you can win $500. I mean, this is all from implementing the basics of the system where you enroll someone on a premium, you're going to get 3 points. Enroll somebody on an advanced, you get 2. Enroll somebody in a core, you get 1. And if that newly employed, and this is everybody who comes in after the 5th of May, right? And this thing runs to the July 6th, 9 weeks total. We have 6 weeks to go, so there's plenty of time. You can enroll someone tomorrow, and they could win it. And so, but you enroll somebody who's new, and they hit manager, then bam, that person's going to get 2 points. You're going to get 1. If they hit director, they're going to get another 5 points. Now they got 7. You're going to get 3. Now you got 4 more. That person hits senior director, and we'll go to that in a minute. Boom, they're going to get 10 points more. Now they got 17, and you're going to get another 5. And there are people. My wife and I, in a short order of time, hit senior director within about a similar time frame. So it is possible. And but the key is, and here's where we talk about, it's not so much what you know that matters as what replicates. And this is really critical at this point. Here's the real nuts and bolts for you, is that when you get started and get enrolled on the right kit, you want to get enrolled. You want to go to believersforlife.com. We've just reset this back up. It's a Linktree page, but it's going to instruct you to do the 4 steps you see here. To text this number on the page here to join our text communication thread, because the key is to get connected. The number one reason why people fail in this opportunity is they do not remain connected to the team. Because when you have a big dream and a big vision and a definitive purpose and a strong daily method of operation, in order to keep that going, you've got to be fueled by being around others who are doing likewise too, because that will lift you up, because no one is perfect. And for the same reason why people go to church who are on fire for Jesus and stay going, and then they start pulling away from church, and then their fire begins to dissipate, because it's so important to remain around the fire. And this is why being connected is so important, because you want to remain on fire with the Zooms we have, the testimonies that go on. It is a simple way and a powerful way to fuel you as you head towards your dreams. And we have a platform also, Believers for Life, a school platform where we put video testimonials, key teachings, and leadings that you can go to and you can study, much like a franchise manual, in order to continue to improve your game on what it is that you need. And that's important. You'll find that out when you text. Actually, you text the word hello. That's just not on here. Forgive me. You text the word hello to that 727 number, and that is on the believersforlife.com. We'll get that cleared up next time. And then you will be offered an opportunity to also join school once you text that number. And that will help give you the opportunity to join there, as well as there's a link directly from the believersforlife.com. When you enroll and you get plugged in, next time you enroll somebody, you send them here likewise too. And so when they go to Believers for Life, let's take a look at this real quick here. I want to show you this. Just pull my screen back up here. Okay. Can you see this now? It says Believers for Life. Someone just tell me they can see that. Yep. Okay, thanks. So we've just put this up to make this easy because what you have here is it tells you first things first. Click the text the word hello to join a group text. So you click this here and it's going to give you the option to go ahead and do that, right? So let me cancel that. And then after that, it's telling you second priority, join a Believers High School community. And if you're, it's going to lead you to a link to join it, right? And then obviously, if you want to know where you get your next level ticket, because that's part of the first things first, you just click here and that's going to take you right there too, right? So we've got this and you can see this on your phone, looks the same. And then there's a welcome to the team launch. It's a video that I did. And then step 1 and step 2. And this is what it's going to inspire you to do in order to get started out of the gate. And it's the same thing that we tell you when you go to school is you're going to watch the welcome video and then watch step 1 and step 2. This is the formula. Watch the welcome video, watch step 1, step 2, then call your upline. We also have a LifeWave business launch plan that we put up recently as well. And this basically gives you a one-page summary of how to get started. That's also on here as well. So when you send your member, everything we're doing is duplicatable. So when you enroll a new person, you send them to believersforlife.com. It brings them to this Linktree page, and they can begin to click through and get connected. And so they can replicate the same thing too. And so let me back up here. So it's a simple formula. Now from here, once again, we have our Linktree, excuse me, our school platform. And I'll come back to this in just 1 minute. I'll tell you, since we're on here, I'll just kind of move forward. So we're talking about Believers for Life School, SKOOL. If some of you are never heard about this before, you'll be hearing more about school in general because a lot of companies and organizations, instead of using Facebook, they're now using school, SKOOL, and they can create their own communities where they can quickly have everybody stay connected and communicating and find resources all around a one centralized source. And that's the powerful dynamic of school. And so when you're texting the word hello, you're getting not only our text thread to have text notifications and when the next upcoming Zooms are, but you're also being invited to this here, as well as if you didn't get to do that, then you'll get directed to do that again from the Linktree page I just came from, because we want to point you back to here. And what's here is your ability to be able to stay abreast of what you need to, and so you can build the business. And there's 3 primary things on this page here that you want to look at. And if I can blow this up here, and at the top here, you'll see it's community, classroom, and calendar. Community, classroom, and calendar. Community is the wall that, just like on Facebook, you'll see here. And so like we have the Zoom schedule for the week set up here. You can come take a look at that schedule and see it there. And so that's what's happening this week. We pin that on the wall there. We also have other things that run for freedom, the cash incentive that there as well. But then also we have the classroom. Click on the classroom and we have the run for freedom, cash incentive. But here's your welcome, and then step 1 and then step 2. And there's videos on here. And when you click them, you can watch the power of connecting and the power of onboarding as well. And so this will get your focus on what you need to do. And then you come back out of this and then go just click classroom again. And it will take you back, just FYI. And then you can click, I clicked step 1. So we click maybe step 2 and how to go manager and how to go manager. And this gives you the fundamental. And so when we're asking you to, hey, to watch these videos, or short videos, 30 seconds, 2-minute videos, walk down through, watch the videos on step 1 and step 2, then call your upline, because at that point, the next step is they're going to want to onboard you. And that is where they're going to go over your why, how much time you have, how much money you're looking to make, helping you build the list so that you can then set up your first launch event to get you to manager, and then make sure you've got your next level ticket and then get you launched from there. And so that you can enroll your new people, can tell them to do the same thing to get connected, go watch the videos, get with their upline, get launched, and everybody can do this replication of process because it brings you into a focus based on what's needed to simplify duplicating, because duplication of efforts is going to give you the power to achieve more time and more income. So let's go back here. Alrighty. So once again, I should look at my 749. Text, join school community, watch the videos, call your sponsor. That's what we just went through, showed you that, and get back and study it like it is your own franchise manual, right? Okay. Additionally, if you want to equip yourself, study the one-page landing page. That's the thisisitinfo.com. Study that. Get to know what's on there, and so because it's powerful. And if you haven't seen it, you need to take a look at it. And because of the sake of time, you need to look, you need to own it. Go there. And by the way, there is that when you go to the thisisitinfo.com, at the very top, there is the menu. You pull it down, there's a page that says testimonials. You can see a plethora of testimonials and look through those testimonials. Find what's there. It's a great resource because obviously that's part of the system we use in sharing this amazing opportunity. Alrighty. And then David Schmidt go to YouTube. And then go David Schmidt X39. If you want to learn about the other patches, you can go David Schmidt X49. David Schmidt, glutathione and other patches. Now we lead with one patch, but eventually we'll wear the other patches, but we don't talk about anything but X39 because that will complicate people. But you want to know about them, just begin to look on YouTube, David Schmidt. Obviously, you're going to study the Zoom presentation, take notes, right? This is how you get better watching people do what they do. And study the team training site. That's the school platform we just shared with you, like a franchise manual. And know your printables. And the printables basically are, and I like to say, we like to sign people up with, we sign everybody up with paper. And this is a print I want to give you, and I'm going to bring Donnie on here in just 1 second because I want to get to the point of enrolling people. But it's so important. Why don't use a link? Why Kerry Robertson, who makes more money than I make, doesn't use a link? And we all sign everybody up paper. It's faster. And so it's easy on the phone with somebody. I can have this in my hand and I can text them a copy of this order form, right? And see if I can get it here for you. Text a copy of this order form, and then just say, hey, which one do you want? And then I write it down, get their name, address, birth date, credit card, phone number, email, phone number, and then get them off the phone. Or if I'm with them at Starbucks, I actually will fill this in right then instead of try to fumble on through my computer at the time because it's just faster. Plus, they can see it. And so I'm telling you the fastest way to enroll somebody. And then what we do is we flip the page over on the back side, and then we write down, hey, what maybe some of the things that they may be going through. And so as far as what are they looking for, on a health basis, and they may not be able to see this here, but we wrote down while I'm talking to somebody, hey, what are you looking for? What kind of health things are you looking for? And then I'll say, hey, who else is it that you know? Do you have a best friend, a mom, a dad, who you think they could use this patch also? Who you're thinking about? And we'll write that down as well. And then for us, what I do is I hole punch these. I've got a big hole punch here. And we put in a binder. And then now I can flip the page and stay on top of who I need to stay on top of. And also we do use the tracker that's on this is a team, the printable, the downloads. We also have it on our school platform. And so we can help you ask your upline to help you find that for the sake of time. But what this does is this gives us, as part of our daily method of operation, the ability to follow up and to stay on top and tracking our team. And you would think I'd do it with this, but you know what? It's easier on the brain to turn a page and to see it and to be able to follow up. And it makes it easier and then to have it organized. So then my whole mind is now right here. I can open it up and see what I need to see. And that's just a pro tip for you on staying organized in this amazing opportunity. And so, but while we're doing this, is you're looking, your first goal is to go manager. You want to get two people on your left and two people on your right. And so, in sharing this opportunity, but Donnie, if you're still there right now, if you could, I want to have you jump on, unmute yourself, and just share, why you're excited and kind of what you've been doing to share, and how you've been enrolling people in the last couple, 3 weeks with us. And so, we'd love to hear from you. Just got to unmute yourself there,
Yeah.
Donnie.
Thanks, Ken. Hopefully you can hear me now.
I can hear you. Can't see you.
Great. Yeah, and you can see me. That's
There you
unfortunate.
are.
I finally the light bulb went on. What you mentioned about taking ownership, that was the key. I know the product works. I've been using it. I've been seeing the results, and I started seeing the results in my family members. So the belief was always there. It was the commitment and the why that wasn't there. And now that that's there, I mean, I want to fund the kingdom, and I want the Father to use me to do that. I mean, yeah, it's going to be great to be debt free, but funding the kingdom is my goal. My wife and I were committed to that. Hurricane Helene and Milton really hurt our church quite a bit. They had 3 feet of water. And so I spent 5 months remodeling that. And it occurred to me, we were always asking for money. I don't want to be in that situation. So I know the Father has placed this in my lap, and the light bulb has gone on. So what I'm doing is I'm following the guidance of the pros. Of course, I'm not doing everything right, but I'm learning. And what I share with folks is not only the power of the patch, but the ability to be free financially as well for what they want. So the why is very important. And my wife and I have been praying every morning for divine appointments, and I'm just amazed at how folks are coming to us, and I'm saying it can't be this easy. It just can't be this easy. People are asking us, people are coming to us and then out of the blue sharing what's going on in their body. And I'm going, okay, wait a minute. This is a divine encounter. Time to not only bring up what the Father can do in healing, but also what the Father has now provided as a tool. Because we don't struggle in going to the cabinet and pulling out an aspirin. So why should it be any different? So, and I do really appreciate what you have done with the support. That's helping us out a lot, and that's keeping me on track and focused so as not to try to reinvent the wheel. And I think that was, I was my own best enemy or worst enemy, is because I'm trying to overthink this thing, and it's not complicated. It's sharing what the product can do, sharing the freedom that you can get from this product, and then asking, of course, what's their why? Because my why, I'm all in, and people are seeing that now. I am all in, but I'm all in for me the right reasons. I'm going to fund the kingdom. Father will use me for that, and hopefully impact the lives of those around me. So thank you.
So what are you saying to somebody when you're calling your family or friends when they're coming to you? I mean, is there anything in particular that just
Yeah.
is,
I said, first of all, you're not going to believe me, but let me just tell you what this product, this is, you're going to think it's too good to be true, but I do share the website. I share my story of what the patch has done for us. And then, because a lot of the folks that I've been connecting with are out of state, I've been sharing the YouTube video of the presentation.
Mhm.
I'm just now getting plugged into the Zooms, but you've done such a great job with the Zoom call recording that I've been sharing that. And I had a lady in Virginia say, I can't, for personal reasons, do this because I have a personal reason. My spouse won't allow me to do that. But would it be okay if I send you 20 people that can? And I said, well, of course you can send me people. I mean, if that's what the Father is providing for me, I'm not going to say no. So I share with them my story. I share I try, you have said those that ask the questions control the conversation. So I'm trying to do that. I'm not a master at that. I'm not a pro, but I am starting to connect the dots there. So I do ask them, you know, what are they dealing with? And then I do ask about their whys. But we connect really on what the product can do and what it's done in our family. And right or wrong, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm learning.
You're doing awesome. Here's the reality. They say that, and Donnie, thank you for sharing. We're so excited for you, so excited for your heart. And we know that God's blessing you because he sees your heart. So he's going to make sure that you get the people. And I think that's a big lesson for all of us. What's your heart? What's your motivation? Right. And so, and if it's for the benefit of others, you're going to find yourself getting blessed. When we start off with this conversation tonight, really in the foundation of really what's your why? What's your purpose? And what's buried down below that God wants to bring out of you, that he put into you before the beginning of time. And you're going to find that it goes beyond being debt free and going on having resources. Those are all great things. God wants that for you, hands down. He does not want you living where if you have not enough, that's really where Satan is, believe it or not, it has an influence on your life. And then if you have just enough, well, now that's you controlling your life. But when you have more than enough, that's when God is blessing your life. That's where he wants you, and that's his heart. He came to bring his life and bring it abundantly. And so the most important things in life are all through relationship and love and health, but when you're a person who has a great heart, then God can give you a great abundance of finances and you can do great things with them because you are and him are together and their money doesn't own you. You own it. And then you take the good heart you are to go bless others. And that's what he desires for you. Listen, I know it's 8 o'clock. I am going to go a little over. And then what's going to happen is Wednesday night, I'm doing a coaching. I'm going to take a video that we didn't see tonight. And I'm going to play that during the coaching. Wednesday night, by the way, also Wednesday and Thursday nights are designed to have those. If you're getting, you have questions or maybe getting a little beat up during the day or whatever, you want to make sure that you have a huddle that you can come to, unload your questions that you may came across today that may stump you or what have you. We're going to answer them, but we're also going to give you an inspirational mindset because mindset is everything. It's everything. Read that book, Outwitting the Devil. If you haven't gotten it, it's part of our system. Very important. And because it literally, what you think and what comes out your mouth is your future being created. Words are eternal. God himself is eternal. We're the only creature in the whole planet that speaks words. The apes, the birds, the bees, the mammals in the seas, and the monkeys in the trees, none of them speak a single word. We do. And we can speak life to our children or death to them, right? We can speak life to ourselves or death to ourselves. And so God wants, and we're fallen. And so we have this world we live in where it's not natural. You have to actually fight to speak life to yourself. And you don't want to listen to yourself because you're going to go down. You need to learn to talk to yourself. All right. And that's a tip for life right now, 101. And this opportunity, God needs you to do that because he wants to bless you with a ton of people like he's doing Donnie. And you begin to speak, Lord, you've got leaders for me. Lord, you've got dreams in my heart. And Lord, you're going to bring them to pass. And I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to partner up. I'm not giving in because God's not giving up. And so you don't have to either. But Wednesday night, we'll capture some of the other components that would have been trained tonight. I'm still dialing in these trainings, but we've got the nuts and bolts. As long as you've got the ability to text hello to that 727 number, get on school, get plugged in. Tomorrow night, we have our 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Team meeting. Be on that. That's where the family is at. Celebrating wins, hearing amazing testimonies, learning new tips. And then Wednesday, Thursdays are a new format of basically kind of like a team huddle coaching, inspiration, mindset, combined meeting to keep you fueled. And then also Wednesday, we have the women's Zoom that happens at noon. And so, we've got opportunity to keep you plugged in, not to mention all the other Zooms that are occurring from This Is a Team that go on Monday nights. Tuesday, I do a Tuesday night meeting after 8 o'clock. Wednesday, there's an 8 p.m. Thursday there's Spanish, Friday noon. You can see all that as you study your franchise manager, you take ownership, you'll see these things and you work with your upline. So, I'm just thinking one last thing I had in my mind. I want to make sure that I got covered for y'all before we exit off this call for right now. Is that you see in the chat that was put there, a tab. Thank you for putting that in there. And begin to leverage your upline. Make sure you've got your upline's phone number, their upline's phone number, and the third person upline. This is a shift. Now, this is foundational to how you begin to use the belief of others that have gone before you that may believe bigger and better than you do, have the way to communicate so that when you introduce somebody new, they can accelerate getting the belief on them, get their questions answered. And as you're listening on that three-way phone call, your knowledge is getting increased more rapidly. It's a great way to redeem time. And so, and if your upline isn't very active, go above that person. Go to where your active upline is at, and begin to leverage them. Say, hey, listen, I'm so and so. I heard you're great. And if I have, and get to know them and understand who they are, and then leverage them when you have someone that you have need to be able to communicate with. That you need greater credibility with the product or service. You use us. And so I love working with our team and on helping them succeed, on getting product introduced. And then they're learning from me as I'm talking, they're learning. And my goal is to empower people so they can learn and then they become what I am to others, right? And that's how we begin to help develop each other. And it's a very great web. It's a great way to get the weight of this business off you and begin to understand the power of two. One can put 1,000 a flight, but two can put 10,000 a flight. And down my right leg, I have 16 SPDs, which is crazy. And as I'm listening to what they're doing, they're all using each other up 3 lines. And they're partnering each other on these calls. And you can see there's not a lot of overly independence. There is a proper independence, but there is a proper team dependence also. And so we'll talk more about that on Wednesday night as well. And but I want to say welcome once again to the team. And just in summary, we're part of the This Is It team underneath the umbrella of Steve and Gina Merritt. Now they're approaching 500,000 people. Our goal is to hit 1 million by year end. We think we'll more than pass that. Fastest growing team in the world. My community is called Believers for Life. And so we exist underneath the umbrella of This Is It team. We simply take all the tools that This Is It team has and we bring it to you in a community format. So we're all one big team. We're just a community within the team. And so we pray for David Schmidt. We pray for Steve and Gina Merritt who run that team. And we pray for you every day and all the leaders. And so we're looking forward to you becoming a greater leader too. So, and once again, if you're a veteran, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for doing what you do. First responders, thank you. And so thank God, what a beautiful day today's been. And so I hope you've got a little more insight than you had before that you can begin to step into tomorrow. And we're going to help you continue to develop your daily method of operation. We're going to begin to help empower you on follow-up on what that looks like. I think there's a big gap that people have. I think follow-up is the biggest weakness, and we're going to make it our strongest strength. God perfects his power and weakness, and we are going to, my commitment, because I'm really great at talking to people and sponsoring, enrolling people, follow-up is an area that I'm improving. And I speak that. I'm going to become spectacular at it because we're going to have a whole organization that's spectacular at it because God's going to bless us in it because we're going to celebrate our follow-up. We're going to talk and we're going to share pro tips with each other and we're going to get inspired and understand the power of that. And what's happened is you're going to sign up more people, more miracles are going to occur because follow-up was now getting fulfilled. And the power in follow-up is more people get signed up, which means God gets the moves bigger, more miracles begin to happen better. He gets more glory and more money ups in your bank account. So that's going to be part of our Wednesday night and probably Thursday as well. And so, and they're recorded. And so what we're doing, once again, we've moved our whole schedule to a Monday to Thursday team schedule. Unbelievers for Life. So, but this is a team. So we do follow them. They have their Friday meetings. They have their Saturday trainings. We still promote those. So very important. But just how we're going to be running our community within that umbrella, that's what that looks like. And our team meetings never conflict with the this is a team timeframes. That's why we're doing 7 to 8, because that doesn't conflict with any other team meeting as far as under this is a team umbrella. All right, so just FYI. Well, it's been an honor to be with you, and look forward to seeing you on the next Zoom and being partnered with you in your journey of success and God blessing you to achieve the dreams He put inside you, because that's why He birthed you into this time of life. He had a dream inside of you, and we're going to help bring it out. And we're going to pray Him manifest it out so that His kingdom can come in a greater way. His will be done. Remember, that prayer is an amazing prayer. Lord, your kingdom come, your will be done here on earth, just like it is in heaven. Well, the kingdom is kind of external, though it's internal, but the will of God, your will come and your will be done. Where does the will of God come? Where is it done? It is done in our heart. And so when you can dream with the will of God, then it's a good dream. It's going to be related not just about things, it's going to be related about others. And what's going to happen is He's going to be able to live bigger through you here on earth, just like it is in heaven. And that really is the power of a dream when you combine it with God, is that you see God move bigger in you, changing lives through you, and you become more fulfilled and why you give them the morning to do what you do. All righty. Well, blessings, everybody. It's been an honor. This is recorded, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully tomorrow night on our team Zoom at 7 p.m. And God bless you, everybody. It's great seeing everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.